Hi everyone, Kathy here, coming to you with another art journal page. This one's using some acetate, so something a little more interesting. So the acetate I'm using today comes off of this package of Vicki Boutin mixed media paper. The cover of that pad has a sheet of acetate that has translucent colors at the top. And then it fades down into clear acetate at the bottom. So I just cut a piece of that a little bit taller than my art journal page, scored the top inch of it, bent it over, and attached it just by tipping it into the back side of my page so that that acetate can flip up. And the reason I did that, for one thing, it's a little fun to have something flip up. But these ladies that I'm using, those images are just about as tall as my art journal page. So if I put them right directly down onto my page, it would obliterate the design behind them. And I wanted to be able to see that. So now you can flip up the page and still see the full image behind them. Plus, it's just kind of interesting to have something with some movement that flips up on your page. So here I'm just gluing them down with a fluid matte medium. Any kind of matte medium or even a glue stick would likely work. The acetate's really easy to work with. You do get a second, when you've glued your image down, you get a second to shift it a little bit if you need to straighten it or move it just slightly. A little bit different than when you're gluing things down onto mixed media paper or any paper. And there's a peek. Now you can see when they're looking through the window what they're looking at. They're looking into the window of their favorite craft store. Some of you have been able to shop at that store even. So this is the book, Rebels and Wrinkles. All of the images I'm using today are out of that. I'm just going through it, deciding which one of these background papers I want to use to finish off my page. This is a quick way to do a project when you don't have a lot of time and you still want to be able to art. Oftentimes, actually most of the time on my art journal pages, I'm getting out my paint and my brushes and my water jug and stencils and just having a good time making a mess with it. But if you don't have time for all of that or don't have space to have the mess of paint going on, this is a quick way to make your background interesting. Just collage some background papers down to it. And being this comes out of the same book as those images, then everything is coordinated and works well together. And I know it looks like I'm not even measuring, I'm just randomly trimming the paper, but I happen to know that my art journal is 8 inches high, so it doesn't really need to be measured to put it down. And I'm just going to adhere that down with some matte medium as well. I do have a little bit of a challenge with matte medium of putting too much down, and you can see there, yeah, way too much. Don't need that much at all. So just spreading that out everywhere, and then my challenge is to try and get some of that back off the page, because you don't want a puddle of fluid behind your paper. It can cause you a little bit of a buckling of the paper if you've got that much, like puddles. So then my challenge is to get a little bit of that back off the page. And every time I use matte medium, I think, okay, next time I'm going to use less. But it just doesn't seem to happen. So I go through this routine of taking some back off the page. So maybe you could learn from that and put a thinner coat on your project. So just can you put that down? It's really easy to line it up against the last piece of paper I had down on my page. And then that completes the background. I end up doing a little bit of stenciling on top of here because I like to have some text on my pages. Oftentimes I put down quotes. And this time oh, there you go. You can see where the ladies are peeking in on their favorite scrapbooking store there. Definitely my happy place. So here I am with a stencil. It's got some text, some words on it. If you don't have a stencil, I mean, obviously you can just take a Sharpie and write down whatever words or quote that you want. Or you could add some more images over here. You don't necessarily need to have any text. I generally do. To me, that just kind of finishes things off, and that's my style of what I do. You could also use stamps, or you can use an alphabet stencil and print off whatever words that you like. This word artist doesn't really fit, so it's got to overlap the other piece of paper just a tiny bit, but I'm okay with that. So this text on here is just going to say, I am an artist. And I hope you all feel that way about yourself. Even my 5-year-old granddaughter calls herself an artist, and I just love hearing that kind of confidence. We've all got some art in us, right? That love of creating things. And this is going to finish off my art journal page. Nice, quick, easy project. And there's some close-up images. Stay tuned for the next video to see what these gals do once they're inside their favorite crafting store.